Whew. Hey, trying not to have a BF, cause I'm stressing. I'm stressing. Excuse me. I know I'm in your face. Setting up my notes. Cause we're professional around here, baby. We're professional. That's what we are. We're giving quality. We're giving stress. We're giving education. What's up, family? Welcome and welcome back to Life of Renzzo. My name is Amir. I am so excited to have you all here with me today. I don't know why I broke that up like that, but whatever. So, thank y'all so much for the love and support from my last video. I just want to say thank y'all for the love and support from my last freaking video. And again, if you know of anybody that is struggling with their HIV status, or they just need a little family and love and support, make sure y'all bring them over here to, you know, just gain a little love, gain a little support, and know that, you know, no matter what you go through and no matter what happens in life, that you can always pick your life up, you can always build family, you can always change your circumstance. And I'm living proof of that, and I'm still learning, and there's a lot of things that I'm still going through, but I really do want to inspire people to keep going and keep fighting in life, and to always know that your life is worth living. Today's episode, as you can tell from the title, is going to be my coming out story. So again, I am not one of those channels that really panders on hyper emotions and trying to overly sensationalize an emotion. I just really want to tell my truth in a real and raw and vulnerable way. Wait, hold on, y'all. I forgot to say, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my video so that you're notified for future videos about this and more topics. And also, if you're interested in me talking about a certain thing, make sure you comment that down below so I can, you know, consider it. And if I have any education, I will definitely talk about it. If not, you know, maybe I can pull somebody on my show and let us have some dialogue or whatever. So make sure y'all are commenting down below, and let's enjoy the show. When I was a kid, I was heavily involved in church. So church and religion played a major part in my belief system, my family, my culture. As most people of color, we grow up with that kind of basis of what family is, and a lot of times it definitely deals a lot in religious practices or spiritual beliefs, and just a lot of like family traditions. And again, I am not here to bash or shame a religion. That is not my intention for any of this. I'm just truly telling my story. I like to softball that, because again, what I may say may sound like I'm bashing the church or I'm bashing Black culture, and I'm not. I'm just simply telling my story from my experience. If you do not follow me on Twitter, please follow me on Twitter. On Twitter, I linked this thread where I kind of went through certain things that I experienced coming out, and also like other things as far as in like how I was being treated, things of that nature. So if you're interested in reading more of my story, or you want to know a little more backstory, just click the link below and go to my Twitter where I'll talk about it. And I'm going to talk about a few things in this thread, but I just want to kind of talk really in depth about the coming out. So woo, this is like therapy, y'all. Like, ooh, this is crazy. So my coming out story, it all started when I was about, I want to say 13 years old. My family has always known that I was queer. I've always been the child where you look at me, my auntie, I love her to pieces. I remember her telling me stories like after I came out, like, you know, you just had a different cry. You just had a different, you know, just insinuating that they knew from birth, and as a little boy, that I was queer or I was gay, right? So, with that being said, growing up, being in a religious family, I felt ostracized and I felt like I was this kind of demon child, this demon seed, and hearing things like, you're the reason why I don't love you, you know, and this is after I came out, or this is, I would do things for you if you were okay, or things that my mother told me. And even still to this day, she probably won't admit it, which I don't care anymore. I don't care if she even supports me anymore. I don't care. But it's my truth, and it really happened. And a lot of times what I realized in religion is that a lot of times people use religion as this kind of shield. Like, I can hurt you if I'm doing it in the name of God. Like, as long as I'm whooping you in the name of God, we good. We good. I'm whooping you in the name of God because I love you, because I'm trying to beat the gayness out of you. And if I beat the gayness out of you and I remove things from pleasure, like I take your childhood from you, I literally had no childhood. I had no freedom. I think back over my life, and I was always kind of like confined, and I was always being told who I was, and I was always being told who I was wrong, and being whooped for it, being chastised for it, not even liking to go do boy things and getting a whooping for that. I grew up getting a lot of beatings because I did not want to play with the boys. I did not want to do what the boys did. I did not want to be outside. I didn't want to play football. I didn't want to do all those things. I was creative. I love music. I love dance. I love things like that. And growing up in a black family that is hyper religious, that is not a thing. You don't do that, because boys do this, girls do this. Boys wear blue, girls wear pink. Boys don't like boys, girls don't like girls. Boys and girls go together. And I know I'm not the only one who heard this. God made Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve. I don't know who came up with that, but I'm gonna need y'all old time road religious people, get rid of that. Come out with a new saying, because it's tired, it's old, it's washed up, it's late. I'm sorry, that was anger right there. I'm calling it out. That was anger. So yeah, so coming out, a big part of it was me really expressing to my family, hey, like, I'm gay. So after my cousin gets out of jail, here we go. So after my cousin gets out of jail and we get to the house, I'm terrified. My stomach is turning. I'm like, my mama gonna find out this, and I'm like so many things. I just remember being so under stress and anxious and stressed out and worried. And he walks through the door and he looks at me, and everybody looks at him, and then they look at me, and it was kind of like this moment, like, where I just wanted to evaporate. And after that, due to trauma, I like shut everything out of my brain. That's the only thing I truly, honestly, y'all, that's the only thing I remember, and from that specific moment. And I just remember coming home and my mom finding out, and I remember getting a whooping, and I didn't understand why I was getting whooped, because I was being essayed by somebody else. It was like a combination of me being pulled out of the closet, because of course someone told my mom what I told them about me being essayed, because I didn't even tell her. I didn't tell her at first. And I just remember going back to the house, and my mom was just going off on me, going crazy, calling everybody. And she had this saying, she was like, I'm giving you to God. 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 And I was just like, so, like, honestly, just give me to God already. Like, because I'm so tired of dealing with you. I'm tired of dealing with the family. I'm tired of dealing with this. Because if you go ahead and give me to God, maybe I'll be happy. Maybe I'll be at peace. Maybe I won't have to deal with everything that y'all got going on, right? So that night afterwards, it just was like torture in hell. She took my cell phone away from me. She took fun away from me. She took everything away from me. And I remember growing up around the time my mom would never get me birthday gifts. And around this time, I was really depressed. Because she would be like, why you walk like that? Why you talk like that? Why you look like that? Why you standing like that? Why your face like that? And she would pull the mirror down and make me look at myself. And at that time in my life at that time in my life, I was very depressed. So looking at myself and seeing myself in the mirror, after I just told you about me being essayed, after me coming out to you, there was no moment of consoling me. There was no moment where she pulled me in and said, baby, I'm sorry, or I didn't know, or let me protect you. There was no protection. I didn't even see her say anything to my aunt or to my family about what I had told them. And again, I didn't think anybody would believe me because he is not the person who looks like he likes boys or anything. Like, he's more masculine, the jailbird type, like very like rough and stuff. And I was very like little and I was more effeminate when I was smaller, and I just did not feel safe. And then I would go to church every week, lay on the altar, scream, shout, cry, do the hokey pokey and turn around every freaking week, praying that God would just do something and remove it. And it's like every time I went to church, it was like if I had a cup of poison, it's like I sipped a little bit more. Church became poisonous to me because I'm going to this place that's supposed to provide me with freedom and, you know, vindication and just healing. And every week I'm being pounded on why I am a sinner, why I am going to hell, why God don't love me, why, you know. And it's validating all of the hatred that my mother and other family members were sending towards me. So a big part of it was me believing everything that they said. Like, I might as well go ahead and, you know, just go to hell, accept it. It's inevitable, because at this point, even though I was being the R word and SA, even though my mom was beating me and cussing me out and abusing me, even though I was being mentally, physically, and emotionally and spiritually abused by the people who I loved, no matter what I did, God never healed me. It's like I wasn't worthy of healing or protection. And I know a lot of people gonna jump in the comments, God ain't like that, God love you, God love you. I am not a religious person. I'm so sorry. I don't have anything against it. I believe it's true, is for some people, but for me, I got tired, and I know this is kind of tangent sidebar. I got tired of getting into a place, into a building, and watching everybody around me jump and shout and scream and all of these things, and lay on the altar every week, and nobody was healing. Nobody was healing. So the abusive cycle between my mom and me continued over the years. A lot of abandonment, a lot of mistreatment, a lot of physical harm, a lot of mental harm, down to the point to where I was, you know, suicidal and just did not want to live. Down to, she would say things like, she was gonna send me to shock therapy. And she recently read my tweet that I posted. And I think for the first time, she was able to see what I went through from reading it versus like being in it. Because a lot of times when people are angry, they don't know what they say. They don't know what they're really doing. They're just doing it because it feels right. And it feels like, I'm trying to save your soul from, you know, from hell, from this horned devil who is going to drag you to hell, and your soul is going to be there forever to be doomed in hell. So I can understand why she felt valid in it, but anyways, from about 13 to 16, there was a lot of just mistreatment, a lot of depression. I was being forced to still go to church. I was being forced to do all of these things that just I really, honestly, I just got tired. I did not want to do them. I didn't want to be a part of the church. I didn't want to do anything pertaining religion. So, we started going to this church. I'm not gonna say the name. We started going to this church, and this specific church, the pastor was ex-gay. I don't know his life. I don't know. That's what my auntie told me. But neither here nor there. I don't know if they thought me going to this ex-gay pastor's church was gonna do something for me. It really did. It further validated that you never stop being gay. Period. Anyways, neither here nor there. I'm not trying to validate nobody else's sexuality because I really don't care. So I get into this church, and still the abusive cycle is going on. Just a lot of crying, a lot of depression. And around this time, me and my mom's relationship was very, very strained. So one specific story I am going to talk about, because I went through a lot. That's why I'm kind of like just being general about it, because I'm writing a book, A, and B, it was a lot of things that happened. But one specific story I want to talk about is the time where I just got tired. And this was the beginning, this was the ending that was leading to a beginning for me. It was like the beginning of the end. So at this time, again, like I told you, from 13 to, I want to say at this point, 16, my mom had been kicking me out, and I would go stay with different people and cousins and friends. She would just say, I can't deal with you, I can't deal with you, I can't deal with you. And it was very much so, you go fend for yourself, you go figure life out. But then it was like, if I tried to do that, then she would manipulate the people around me. Like, don't help him out, don't help him out. She would call my cousins, don't help him out because he know better. What do I know? What do you mean? So it was just a lot, and I just want to take a moment to thank my cousin Juanita. I love you so much. There are people who were in my life who really blessed me. Because I'm getting into the more heavier part of my story, I'm glad I got glasses, because this part was hard and I may cry. But my cousin Juanita really saved my life more times than she knows. The universe has always placed people in my path who kind of pull me out and pull me up in moments where I really, really need them more than they know. At about 16, 17, I ended up having to drop out of regular high school and go to a collegiate high school. But the thing that led to that was, one day I was in my mom's shop. I want to say I was in 11th grade. And after being abused all those years and after being mistreated all those years, I was really just over it. And I was sitting in her salon, like sitting back. And she was talking to one of her clients, and she was like, yeah, girl, cause he with that gay stuff, I don't do that up in my house. Cause see, I'm gonna get him to. I told God, I'm giving him to you. Cause if I do it, I'm gonna kill him. I can't do it. I do it, I'm gonna kill him. And she just blah 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 to her clients. So she would do this thing and have this tendency of degrading me in front of people, degrading me in front of church members, degrading me in front of her clients, and people sat around and watched it. And earlier this year, I wrote some gay men who were around me, and I literally asked them, why you didn't stand up for me? Why didn't you stand up for me? Why didn't you speak up on my behalf? And specifically, one person told me, it's because I wanted to protect you, because I felt like it will only make it worse. So you sat there and watched her degrade me and abuse me and use my gayness against me. Because like, she would do hair shows and I would create the costumes. I would help her. I literally for years tried. I prayed to God and I said, God, please help me hate my mama. Like, please help me hate her. I want to hate her. Like, I don't want to love her. Like, And the most painful thing is like in all the physical abuse, before I get to the story, I remember somebody called her and told her, yeah, he's talking to this one boy. And she called me in her room and she took my phone and she was going off on me, cussing me out. And literally, y'all, I'm finna do it to the camera. I'm my mama, y'all me. So she cussing me out all up and she just boop, 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 boop. Like literally, and I'm just sitting there like. And I remember saying, you done? Like, are you done? You done? Like, I just was so numb. So that goes to show you the level of emotionally unavailableness I was. This is very hard to tell. Whew. So fast forward, that happens, and that's just, again, like I was telling y'all, it's so many occasions where she would physically abuse me and she would mentally and emotionally abuse me and pretend that she accepted me, but then as soon as I got too gay, she would snatch the rug under my feet and stop me from being my true self. So I was 17 and my mom, I was in the shop and she was talking to her friends and she was like, you know, I'm giving him the God and all this. She was saying all of these things. And I ended up, I was sitting back and I didn't have a phone. I couldn't talk to nobody. I didn't have anybody to talk to. I'm just sitting there for hours listening to her talk about me while I clean up her shop, while I sweep the floor, while I wash clients' heads. I did everything. I've tried. I did everything that I could to be a good son, to make her love me, to make her accept me, to make her see me as human. And this day, I just was tired of being abused. And I said, shit. She turned around. She said, what you say? I said, man, I jumped up and I walked out the front door. I walked out her room door and I walked outside and she just was hollering. Like when I walked out the door, I was slamming the door behind me, slamming each door behind me because she was trying to get me, like put her hands on me. And we ended up outside and my mom started to like rip my shirt, scratch me, punch me. Like honestly, she had some object in her hand. I don't know what it was, and honestly, I don't. My brain just kind of cut it out so that I can see her as human. And I just remember thinking to myself, "Wow, I really gotta fight my mama. The person who loved me, who's supposed to love me, the person who gave me life. I really gotta fight her right now." And I don't want to. I didn't want to fight her. I didn't put my hands on her in a way that I just was like, oh yeah, let's fight, let's box. It was more so I had to defend myself so I wasn't continuously abused. So we sat there and we like tussled for a while and she was ripping my shirt, busting my lips, scratched my eyes. I was all cut up and my nose was bleeding. I had scratches everywhere on my face. And she just was cussing me out. And I was like, I hate you. I hate you. I was saying that. I hate you. I hate you. I was screaming it. And one of her clients, who I won't name, ended up breaking us up and she went in the house. Back into her shop. Now, after that, I don't know what her story is. I really don't give it a. So after the fight that we had, I walked to my best friend, Isha's house, who I love you, boo. I walked to her house, and it had to be about a good almost 10 miles away from my mom's job. And mind you, this is at 11 o'clock at night. And so I ended up getting to my best friend's house and her mom, I knocked on her door and her mom opened the door. And I just broke down. I just started crying. I just broke down even harder. And she just told me to come in and she told me to go lay down with my best friend. And don't remember what happened after that. I just remember crying and being afraid that my mom was gonna come get me or like find out where I was. So ever since that day, honestly, y'all, me and my mom have not been close, and I've always been on guard around her. I honestly have trauma around her, and it's kind of like stressful because I want a relationship with her, but also I don't think that it's possible. Sorry if y'all hear background noise. My brother's here and he's washing the dishes. So also my little brother moved with me. Another story for another day. That was just one centralized incident between me and my mom to give y'all the severity and the gravity. And the biggest part about this is, even though she did all of those things, the people who went to the church with her, the people who was going to her hair salon, the people who rallied around her and supported her and loved her, and they saw these things happening, they, in my perspective, never told her, hey Felicia, they never told her, hey, do you think that maybe you're being too aggressive, maybe you're being too harsh, maybe you can try therapy, or maybe you can try this or that. It was never an option. It was always attack, kill, attack at all moments. So a lot of my life, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I never felt safe in my life until I moved alone. My first time feeling safe was when I moved by myself 2 years ago. That's the first time I ever felt safe in my life. That's how much stress and trauma I was in. That's how much depression I was in. Like, even when I was in safe places, I never felt safe. And that was hard for me because, again, I'm just a child. I'm just a baby and I don't know any better. So, all of those events led to me leaving and eventually moving to Atlanta at 19. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, if I did not move to Atlanta, I would not be alive today. If I didn't have my cousin Isha, if I didn't have my cousin Nita, if I didn't have my cousin Vicky, if I didn't have my cousin Quita, Diamond, it's so many people who have been in my life, and there's a lot of people who I rejected them being in my life because they were too close to my mom. And again, I just did not feel safe. I had gay cousins growing up and I never connected with them and I never felt safe. And it's crazy because my mom would accept them. She would, had one of my cousins, she would, queen out with them and do all the things. But it was like, when I do it, that's when the issue comes. It's like she's okay with everybody else being gay, but it's when her son is gay is the issue. So yeah, this video is a little long. I'm gonna have to make a part 2. And I'll also tell like other situations that happened around that time, like, me talking to my dad about being gay, because I didn't even get into that, or my little brother or anybody else really. But what I will say is, to all my mothers out there who have gay sons, to all my mothers out there who have gay sons, I would see people with their moms and it would hurt so bad. It hurts so bad because all I wanted was a mama. All I wanted was to be loved by a mother. And even still to this day, I have to find women who remind me of a mother, who fill that hole and fill that void that my mother has never filled for me. I never felt safe. She did financially. She was there for us. And she did the best that she could in her perspective. And again, she probably, I can't speak for her. All I know is for me, her best wasn't enough for me to feel happy or safe. So to all my mothers out there, if you have a child that is queer and he's a boy or they just are, it doesn't matter if they're male, female, it doesn't matter. If you have a queer child, it's already hard enough navigating life, and it's even harder when you have to be on defense outside and in your home. And I'm gonna leave y'all on this note. One thing that I wish I would say in my head to my mama is, you want to force me to God so bad, but attacking me and throwing me out there and pushing me out there was actually pushing me away from what you saw as God. And it pushed me into looking for things and people outside of the home and the family dynamic to feel happy. All I needed was somebody to love me and just to hug me and nurture me and love me and say it's okay. Say I'm gonna be okay. That's what I wish my mom would have did. That's what I wish that other parents of queer kids would do. Just tell your child that you love them and love on them and love them back to to a healthy place, so that they can even see you and hear what you're saying. Because when you're always on attack mode, your child is not listening. They're not. No matter how much you throw the Bible and the scripture and the words and the words and the words and the words, it's not gonna work. In most occasions, just love the person that you're trying to reach back to a healthy space, so that you can have healthy communications with them and y'all can move in love and light. Alright y'all, thank y'all so much for watching the video this far. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. Make sure y'all put the peace signs and them hearts in the chat below. Stay positive and always know that I love you and I am sharing my love to you. I'm here, I'm your uncle, I'm your brother, I'm your cousin, I'm your friend. And if you need that support and you are queer and you don't have that support, DM me. My Instagrams are below. My Twitter is below. Everything is below. DM me, hit me up, write me, let's talk. Like, this is not just I don't want to just talk to myself. I want to talk to y'all. So make sure y'all are commenting. Make sure y'all are sharing this with people who need it. If you know somebody going through and they just need a little bit of encouragement, just look at my life. Come look at my Twitter. See the successes that I had in life. And I still am not where I want to be. But at the end of the day, I didn't give up on myself. I don't want y'all to give up on yourself. And if you, again, you my brother, you my cousin, you my sister, whatever the case may be, hit me up. I love y'all and I hope to see y'all next week. Peace.